Yeah, thank you very much, and hello and good morning to everybody. In Berlin, it's still morning time at this time of the day. And if we see now from 1.5 days intensive presentation, discussions, and we see the goal somewhere, sometimes it's good to say, step aside, take a deep breath, and to take a view what will come on later this day. Looking on this few next minutes now we have with some more breeze and energy inside, I just want to introduce very briefly InnoEnergy, and then we have 4 of our startups from our community, and as Jan said, some more investment opportunities for everybody in this room. And Matthias Willenbacher just mentioned this range between around about 100,000 and 1 million for investment capital for startups, for early stage, seed, pre-seed capital. And then we look in our business part of startups, this is also the part where we are active, and this is our task to support early stage startups in Germany, in Europe. We are active in the whole of Europe, and we have now around 200 startups in Europe where we invested in, so that we say we are perhaps now the largest energy accelerator in the world. We discuss it a lot, and we see a lot the driving forces of the transformation, and the story for us behind this transformation will be only realistic with innovation, with new ideas, with new business model, and with new startup teams coming into the energy and into the game of the changing system to more renewables, to decarbonize, and to have it more decentralized, and to have a new market game with the renewables coming into the market. What have we done so far with InnoEnergy? We invest money. It's a public-private partnership. We are in European SE level, and we get some public money and some private money to invest it in 3 business lines, as we say. It's about innovations and inventions and innovations, where we invest in large open innovation consortia. Around about 80 all over Europe are running. We invest in early stage startups, pre-seed also, seed capital, around about 200 shares we have in startups all over Europe. And we also invest in people. That means the game changers of the future. We have master programs mainly for the energy sector. We invested so far around about 300 million euro. And from the other investors, co-investors, and from industry came another 1,700 roundabout million euros as a co-investment. 2 examples, and perhaps it explains much more than talking about business cases and our structure. We have invested some years ago in skeleton technologies, and another example then afterwards will be Northvolt, where we have also investment in the battery, in the storage. When you see the timeline of a long-term startup and innovation coming into the energy market, and when it's more hardware related, you see the long time period, and you see the need of having partners who can stand all this time. So coming back to the invention, it was something in the mid-90s of the last century already, where they made their first invention at the university area, and then around about 10 years later, 2009, they founded Skeleton. And that was close to them, where we joined them, and we get the first investment from our side. But as it is usual, always other partners and other investors will join those innovation stories and the whole journey. So they were able, with our help, to raise money 2014, 2015, 2016. So every year they got public funding, they got new private investors on board. So we have our own InnoEnergy investment community all over Europe. And we also can join public money from, for example, European Investment Bank. So at the end, they made an investment so that they have today producing capacity nearby Dresden, where they're really producing hardware solution, ultracapacitors in the energy market. And I think they're one of the hottest hardware-related startups in Germany and in Europe, where you can find a lot of publications about Skeleton, and I think there were several times already on the stage here at Ecosummit. Another example for our daily work is Northvolt. It's started as an idea of 2, 3, 4 persons coming from North America, coming from the valley to join old Europe and to Scandinavia with the idea how to build battery capacity, production capacity in Europe, and so start investing in battery production. And our journey, I don't know if we have a pointer here, started all these topics, not only giving money, but giving the backing and the support to start an industrial process here in Europe in the northern part. For example, we gave them access to finance, for example. We invested as a very early stage investor, and to bring in some more other partners for co-funding. We helped them for the red part, the technology enhancement. Very important for them to have a clear position of IP and the patent strategy. We helped them to get the real team from InnoEnergy environment, but also from other communities, so that they can build up a real company and a real structure in Europe. And at the end, it's very important for this larger project to have an European, or to be integrated in a European system, ecosystem for this part, and to build up an industrialized production capacity means also to be backed by the European Union in this part. We started last year what's called the European Battery Alliance to build up more industrial capacities in battery production in Europe. So these are two examples for our work with helping startups on the long journey to come to the market. And I think it's a little bit different from the time horizon if you compare with e-commerce or with tech finance startups in the other areas where usually a lot of seed capital and investment capital goes. So now we have 4 very interesting and very important, amazing startups here on the stage. We will have Willisto, Better Space, Meva Energy, and Heat Power. They will also make their short pitch, and we start with 2 topics about energy efficiency and very specific technology solutions in starting with specific use cases. The first will be focusing on topics of business buildings and heating energy, hiring as lowering, not lowering, to have more energy efficiency in the heating system of these buildings. And the second example, Better Space, will something focusing on hotels and starting with their first market niches to build up a larger company. So, Christoph, come up to the stage, and Willisto will be the first of us.